Welcome to the deep dive. We're really diving deep today, folks.
Ooh, sounds intense.
It is, in a good way.
Hmm.
We're getting into the minds of Jada and Des.
No. From the Act Normal podcast, right?
You got it. They're these amazing young entrepreneurs and influencers, super open about, well, everything.
Yeah, their conversations are always so real and insightful, not just about business, but like life, faith, the whole shebang.
And that's what we're digging into. We've got their latest YouTube chat, and it's juicy.
So where do they kick things off?
Jada starts with her trip to the Paris Olympics. Super hyped about Simone Biles, of course.
I mean, 8 medals? That's insane.
Right. But she wasn't so thrilled with the Parisian food scene.
Interesting. See, even with these incredible experiences, they still have normal preferences, like anyone.
Totally. It's a good reminder that even influencers are human, you know?
For sure. Speaking of keeping it real, Des shares about her son, Loyal, starting kindergarten.
Big milestone. But imagine navigating that in the public eye constantly.
Exactly. How do you parent authentically when every decision is potentially scrutinized online?
Well, Jada actually addresses that later. She talks about dealing with online criticism, especially after a recent promo campaign caused a stir,
Oh, right. I remember that. People were pretty divided.
which leads perfectly into their businesses.
Yeah.
Jada gets real about her product launch, the highs and the lows.
The warehouse struggles, employee mishaps, the stuff they don't always show on Instagram.
Right. It's not all glitz and glam. What's interesting is how she leads, though.
Yeah, she emphasizes grace and growth even when someone messes up, which is pretty cool.
Instead of immediately firing them, she gives second chances.
Makes you wonder, is that approach actually viable in every business? What do you think?
I admire it, but yeah, some industries might be tougher. It does make me think about their overall vibe, though.
How so?
They seem to be really intentional about everything, including taking breaks from social media, like live streaming.
It's like they're protecting their energy and well-being, which I think a lot of people can relate to.
Totally. The pressure to be on all the time is so real. But they still have fun online, you know?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Like that whole bit about celibacy and girl math. It's hilarious.
Girl math! Refresh my memory.
Let's just say it involves some creative calculations when it comes to spending.
Okay, got it. It's nice to see they don't take themselves too seriously.
Right. Still human, relatable experiences. And speaking of relatable, they talk about their friend group, too.
Everyone's got a friend group, the good, the bad, the drama.
Theirs has evolved, some friendships fading, others strong. They mention Greg specifically.
What's up with Greg?
He's on his own spiritual path, seems kind of different from theirs.
And how do they feel about that?
They're super open-minded, not judging, just respecting his journey, which I think is a great takeaway.
Yeah, acceptance is key. There's no one right way to live, right?
Exactly. Now, things get really interesting when they dive into their relationships with God.
Okay, now we're getting deep. I'm ready. They're really honest about, like, the internal struggles of faith.
The doubts, the questions, the feeling like, maybe you're not always on good terms with God.
Right, exactly. Jada even says she's in a rocky place, wondering why certain things are happening in her life.
Which, takes guts to share that publicly.
It does. It makes you think, is that relatable, though?
What do you mean?
Well, their platform, their success, their problems might seem small compared to some.
I see your point. It's a different level of struggle.
But the emotions, the doubt, the searching for meaning, that's universal.
Yeah, that's true. We all go through that.
It's not always about perfect happiness, right? Faith is about the tough stuff, too.
Figuring things out, seeking guidance, trying to be better even when you mess up.
Exactly. And they're not claiming to have all the answers either, which I appreciate.
They're still learning, still evolving, like the rest of us.
It's refreshing, honestly. So much of spirituality is black and white these days.
You're either all in or all out.
Right. But Jada and Des are showing that it's a journey. It's personal.
They're figuring it out on their own terms. No shame in that.
And that ties into Jada's point about not judging others, you know?
Yeah, she got criticized for promoting scripture while still, making choices some might see as unchristian.
Which is a whole other conversation.
For sure. But it highlights that we shouldn't judge based on outward appearances.
Everyone be on their own path, making their own choices. Compassion, folks. Compassion.
Okay, this next part I loved. They answer a listener question. 5 things you wish you knew in your 20s.
Oh, that's a good one. Wisdom from those who've been there.
Right. Like having super successful friends giving you advice.
Jada's first one. Stop making permanent decisions with temporary people.
Whoa, that's deep.
Whether it's contracts or relationships, think long term. Align with the right people.
This is all about going easy on yourself, especially with decisions.
We're all going to make mistakes. Got to embrace the learning process.
I need to hear that more often, for sure.
Then Jada's all carpe diem. Have fun, embrace opportunities. Life's short.
They both seem to live that way. It's inspiring.
And Des adds, spend time with yourself. Don't feel pressured into relationships.
Being alone doesn't equal loneliness.
Exactly. And they both emphasize being present, intentional in everything you do.
Which reminds me of Jada's post about the lost art of lingering.
That one hit hard, didn't it?
Made me stop and think, like, am I actually savoring life or just rushing through it?
Slow down, be present, resist that always-on pressure from social media.
Easier said than done, though, right?
They admit to struggling with it, too. Being grounded is a constant effort.
Especially when you're in their world. Okay, since they're both bookworms, they share their latest reads.
Always time for some book recommendations.
Jada's reading Love, Freedom, Aloneness by Osho.
Interesting choice. What's it about?
It's about self-love and spiritual growth. Kind of unexpected for Jada, I thought.
I know, right? But that's what's so cool. They always surprise us.
She makes some great points, though, like how society pushes external validation over self-acceptance.
And that we often neglect self-love from a young age.
Yeah, it made me rethink things. What about Des?
She's into Heart Talk by Cleo Wade, poetry and prose, all about being your true self.
Sounds right up her alley.
She highlighted this part, about it being pointless to explain yourself to judgmental people.
Oh, I love that. Focus on your path. Don't waste energy on those who don't get it.
Know your worth. Don't seek validation from the wrong sources. Powerful stuff.
Then they do this exercise, the bag lady game. It was so visually impactful.
Oh yeah, the weights in the bag symbolizing the burdens they want to release.
It really hit home, like we all carry burdens, no matter how successful we seem.
Jada's were expectations, failure, and things I can't control.
Trying to let go of that pressure, embrace the moment.
And Des had worrying about what other people think, the past, and also expectations.
Releasing self-doubt, focusing on her own journey. Seeing them throw those weights away, it was like, wow. It's like a visual reminder to let go of what's weighing us down.
Right. And they don't just talk about letting go, but also about resilience.
Yeah, how setbacks don't have to define us.
Like Jada moving into her first apartment, basically nothing, no furniture, barely any money.
But she was determined. She knew she'd figure it out.
That faith in herself and maybe something bigger, it's woven through everything she does.
She even said fear has never held her back, that every leap of faith has worked out.
That belief in herself is powerful, trusting the journey even when it's tough.
And it's not just about self-reliance. They both talk about their moms.
Their moms as a source of strength, support, inspiration. That's huge.
Family is a grounding force, definitely. But on the faith topic, Jada's take on religion was interesting.
Oh yeah, what did she say?
She felt organized religion can be more divisive than unifying sometimes.
I can see that.
She's shifting to a more personal relationship with God, individual spirituality.
It's like finding what truly resonates, forging your own path.
Which Des echoes too. She felt disconnected from religion as a kid, even going to church.
It wasn't until she explored on her own that it clicked.
Reinforces that faith is personal, not one size fits all.
And it's interesting how they want to instill those values in their kids, but also let them choose.
That balance of guidance and independence, it's tricky.
They also touched on social media and societal values, how it's all so fast-paced.
Everything's rushed, no time for stillness. Remember Jada's post?
The lost art of lingering, man, that hit me hard.
Me too. It's a call to slow down, be present, resist that constant on mentality.
Which they admitted they struggle with too, that pressure is real.
It makes their message even stronger though, right? They're not preaching from some perfect pedestal.
They're in the trenches with us, trying to live more intentionally.
Well, folks, there you have it, a deep dive into the minds of Jada and Des.
Lots to unpack there. What stood out to you?
Honestly, their honesty, their vulnerability, it's inspiring.
It's like a reminder that everyone's figuring things out, even those who have it all.
And in those shared struggles, we find connection, understanding.
Inspiration to navigate our own journeys, for sure.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And maybe play your own bag lady game. Let go of what's holding you back.